Today I'm going to share something which is deeply personal to me. It's about my journey and how I faced so many things, ups and downs in my career, and how I make the pivot. And I think it will resonate to so many of you in the room. So before I begin, I just want to know more about my audience. So who likes Harry Potter? Any Harry Potter fans? Harry Potter. Okay. And any friends? What are here? All right. So how many of you seen Shawshank Redemption? Wow. And any Office fan? Perfect. It's going to be interesting. So there comes a moment in your life, in your career, when you take a pause. Not because you are lost, not because you are lazy, but because something in your head tells you, wait, is this still the direction I want my life to go? And then you take a look back, all the good things, all the good systems that you have built, and you do a quite cost benefit analysis. Like you take a look back the version of success that you have been chasing, and you do a cost benefit analysis that is it worth it. And sometimes you feel that the cost is too high. For some of us, the question comes and in a plateau, as a plateau in our life, when we are really comfortable in the career path, in the role that we are working currently, and we look for our next, and we think, what's next? Even the next really looks good on the picture, on the paper, but we don't feel it. It doesn't give us the kick that we expected that it should be giving us. And sometimes there are other people, usually our N+1s, that makes decisions for us, and we accept those decisions, and we actually thank God, like, yeah, thank you, God, we have some direction, maybe this is it. And then after a few months, we do this in our very best version of Joy's expression, why, God, why? So, yeah, again, an audience check. How many of you are feeling you have been there and done those? Yeah, I have been through all those situations, and I have faced, if I may say, unhappiness, yes, in a really stable career, or at least it looks stable outside, but yeah, inside I was feeling like a squeezed lemon, over squeezed lemon. And I found my so-called passion, let's say, passion, and I made a careful pivot to my dream role. And yeah, so I am Aneesha Chaudhury, and I used to be a software engineer, and I had around a decade of experience building and shipping softwares. And yeah, and I am personally a mom of a 16 months old and wife of a really great husband. And I'm gonna share how I faced unhappiness, and after so many ups and downs, how I found my passion, and how I sold actually my strength or my skill set to the new job role description, so that I don't look weird or alien there, right? And what is my playbook for remaining high performance throughout my career? So before I begin, so I want you to take a moment and answer, take a paper, or maybe open a whimsical notebook in your mind and answer 2 questions for me. Do you like your job? This question number 1. Do you like the current role that you are in right now? And do you still see yourself doing this after 5 years or after a couple of years in the same role? Of course, I know you will be growing, you will be riding the career ladder, but will you still like the same genres that your career is still right now? Think about it and keep it aside. We'll come back to that later. So yeah, I studied computer science engineering, and I started coding back in college, and it felt magic. Like you write something in some IDE, and of course, if it compiles, then you click the run and you see something in the website. And back then, seeing something in the website or contributing something in the web was really cool. So I loved that a lot. It was magic. And I really felt like Tony Stark doing this thing in hologram. So yeah. And then I chose a really conventional path. I became a software developer. And since then, I had a really wonderful journey. I built and shipped lots of code. I caused many downtimes. I shipped faulted production code in Friday evening. So, and yeah, I have migrated so many monoliths to microservice, and which was really popular back then. So yeah, I have seen everything. But after a few years, I mean, it was not giving me the spark that it gave me when I started writing the first code. And I started like, what's going on? I wanted to analyze myself. And I felt that I was more towards the, why part of it. Like if I am adding some condition, if condition, let's say, why I'm adding it, who are going to use it, and what value the users will be getting with the button that I am adding. So, I was more drawn to the business justification part, the why part, so to say. And yeah, it was not exciting. I was like this, like building and shipping codes. And in the organization that I was working back then, I mean, the why part doesn't really reach to our desk, the engineer's desk. We are just given a story, a ridiculous acceptance criteria, a really, really low story point, and a deadline. That's it. Only what to do and when that is needed. But if you want to get involved in the why part, you are not encouraged. So yeah, that happened with me. So yeah, so I kind of, yeah, I should not say invented, but yes, I invented an audit map. So disclaimer, I'm a really good Excel fan. So anything that happened, I mean, any sort of planning, any sort of strategy that I had to do, the first thing I do is I open an Excel, draw some tables and display it in the map so that I have a better clarity. So I did the same thing with me. So yeah, this is the Excel that I created back then. So I tried to understand what I am feeling and what does that probably mean, and what I should try next or do next to not feel that way, because the feelings were not really good. It was like I was unhappy, I was burnt out, yeah. And of course, I believe another thing that I could quit the job and do something else, or but I feel that even if a relationship, be it a relationship or your career, you should try one more time before you decide to quit it. You should do a self analysis. It's like before you decide to do a whole refactor to your code base, try to fix that faulty variable, try to debug your code and see if you can do any improvement. So yeah, I went ahead and talked to my manager that, before that, I actually found out what was the problem with me. So I outgrown my role, and the version of goal that I set for myself, it was really outdated. So that needed some upgradation. So I went ahead and talked to my manager that I need my next and what my next could look like. And there were a couple of options. So I could follow the normal IC path, be a senior software staff, principal, and so on. And there was system architect, solution architecture path, and also there was engineering manager. And I was not a people management, it's not my thing. So yeah, that was a hard no. So I followed the really conventional path. I became a senior software engineer, so I got a promotion. So yeah, new package, new team, new role. It was fine. It was shiny, like every new thing, very beginning. But then, yeah, the shine faded because I was not an inch nearer to what I was seeking, the why part, the business justification part. So I thought, maybe it's not working. The coding is not working for me. Though I love to code a lot, but I was not seeing myself doing it for the living. So I thought maybe I should try to find my passion. And yeah, so the pursuit of my passion began. So I don't know how many of you have read this book. So I did not. So this book, yeah. So this book was really popular back then when I was having those dilemmas, and my sister was luckily reading it, and she introduced me to this tool, and I try to call it Venn diagram. And it is like if you map your likes, dislikes, and everything, and then you will find your ikigai, your purpose of your life. So I thought maybe I should do something with my dilemma and try to find my purpose, my passion. So yeah, another tool for you. So yes, uh, three genre that I thought should help me to find my passion, so to say. So what are you good at, what you love, what pays well? So I was in tech. So what pays well was really easy for me to identify because tech was paying well back then. Yeah. And what I love, so I'm a big fan of planning. So any kind of birthday parties, college events, school events, I was the official planner. So I love planning and making strategies. But I struggled actually to find what I am good at. Because in my current role, one day I was feeling that I'm good at everything. But the next day I was feeling that I know nothing. I'm a big failure. So what I did, I went back to my Outlook and tried to find out all the performance reviews that I had for every years and try to find out all the good things that my managers was writing about me. It was really small, but yes, I made something out of it. And it was like, yeah, coding, software engineering, and there was like taking initiatives, understanding customer needs, and finding patterns. And what you are good at, these things were, I mean, those 5 points were not really, it didn't feel connected to me. So I thought maybe I should apply the rule of elimination because that's my favorite tool in any kind of competitive exam when I appear and I don't know the answer, even I am given four options, I just cross which is not working. So yeah, coding was gone, backend and front end was gone because I was not feeling it. And with the rest three things, I translated it to maybe I should do something which will take me closer to the customers and finding their problem and doing some strategies with them. And the P became, yeah, as I said, doing some strategic planning with customers and of course not losing the technical side of it because it was paying well back then. And then after a few years, actually, I mean, few months ago, I found out this Venn diagram is called the hedgehog principle. So it happened to me accidentally from that book my sister was reading. But if it is not happening to you accidentally, you can make it happen to you intentionally because I would highly recommend you do this examination with your passion and everything so that you find your goal and it will worth your time. So yeah, I found my role. Now I was so determined. I'll go to my manager and ask for my next role, and yeah, I will not follow his direction. But then life threw a lemon to me. I was moving countries because my husband got a really opportunity here in Germany, and so I mean I had to quit my job because it was not possible for me to have the transfer from India to Germany, right? So I quit my job, packed my whole life in 2 suitcases, and booked one-way ticket to Hamburg. And yeah, after settling down, I applied to a couple of job openings in Hamburg, and I got myself few interviews. And I was so confident, like, yeah, EU job market, there are so many opportunities, so many cool people, yeah, like you. Yeah, it would be easy. And a little bit of disclaimer, I mean, a background. Back in India, the interview process, I mean, the tech interview process was really a one way. It's like you are asked, do you know the difference between IPv4 and IPv6? Do you know when will you use NoSQL and when to go for a SQL. Really straightforward questions. But here in my first interview, they asked me, tell me about a time. I mean, all the questions were with this, tell me about a time when you have innovated something to solve a problem. And my brain was super powered that, okay, NoSQL versus SQL, I can do this. But with this question, my brain went into this mode. And my gut was telling me, there are so many things that you have done, Aneesha. Pick something and throw it in his face. But yeah, there was no coordination, and nevertheless, I failed the round. And after failing a couple of rounds, I realized I have to do some preparation with that because the culture is a bit different here in Germany. So I sat down and started to jot down all those situations, all those good things, bad things, conflict, every situations that I had in my career so that it would help me to ace my next interviews. And again, my brain went in this situation. It was loading forever. Like I jotted down 4 to 5 situations and then it was empty. So little tip for you, start documenting your wins, your failures, big, small, messy conflicts, everything that you think you can sell. Because you have no idea your future self, how much your future self is going to thank you for that. And you are going to need them not every time you are doing a career change or an interview, but in your current role, when you are asking for a promotion, they are going to ask you what you have done. And if you have no documentation, your brain will be this. So yeah, what worked for me back then, I had a really good acquaintances in my previous companies. So I called them up and have some fruitful discussion and got myself a couple of lists. And a really popular tool I got to learn about then, star format. So if you don't know it like me, so it translate to situation, task, action and result. Like for a given situation, what were the tasks that you had to perform and what were the action that you have taken to perform those tasks and what were the results. If I can give an example, for example, an e-commerce website was experiencing frequent timeout during peak hours and which was causing low sales. So my task was to find the root cause and stabilize the performance. So what I did, I analyzed the logs and found one faulty slowing database query, fix that query, add some index, add extra caching layer so that there is no latency. And in the result, it reduced the API timeout by 60% and improved the average response time by 45%. So I want to emphasize that the percentages that mentioned in this slide. So if you are not breathing data or adding weightage to your answer with data, it feels really shallow. I mean, today's market, it feels really shallow. So I highly recommend everyone to do that. And there was another lesson learned for me when I was in my job hunt mode in Germany. You may be really great at your job. You may have designed so many systems, so many cool systems, but that does not necessarily mean you could do fairly well in interviews. Because you can decide or design and write so many codes, so many critical codes, so many huge systems, but translating everything into 45 minutes needs some preparation. I didn't know that. So in my first interview, when I made it to the third round, system design round, I was asked to build or design a Twitter. I knew how to build a Twitter, but my brain that time was exploded with so many ideas and I actually struggled. Like, how should I start and how should I continue and how should I, give the best of me? So instead, I designed twitter.cs. So yes, so I'm giving example of my system design round. So I don't know how many of software engineers are there. So in any format of interview or any format of round, there is a format actually. So learn about that format so that you don't go like me. And also, no one likes surprises in their interviews. So if you like, there are a couple of things then you should know about your interviews, like the structure, how many rounds, and who are gonna, appear in that rounds, and what are you expected out of the round. And I mean, my go-to person always is the recruiter, but sometimes recruiters are not really that friendly. So you can, I mean, there are so many slides like Glassdoor, Reddit, Blind, where the candidates give their experiences. So you can read about those experiences, and sometimes you can get some interview questions common from that experiences. So, and yeah, always prepare 4 to 5 star format stories of any innovation, any conflict, any good things, any bad things that you have done in your entire career. And last but not the least, as I told, talk and breathe with data. Like, don't tell that, yeah, I made the API really fast. So tell it like that, I made the API, I mean, cause the latency really like 45%. So yeah, after so many ups and downs, I got myself a job. And actually, I got myself a couple of offers. So I decided to join one energy company because I was really driven by their motto. And the motto was making Earth fossil free like by 2050. I don't know if anyone heard of about that. So yeah, new company, new role, new people, really good people. It was fine, couple of years, but again I was sprinting through stories, through development, and I was nowhere near to my passion that I just found out a couple of years back. So after a couple of years, I am feeling the same damn thing again, unhappiness. And this time I thought, yes, my manager is so cool. I'm gonna ask for my next. I'm gonna share my passion with him, and yeah, I'll fight for my next. So I went ahead and to discuss my next. But then again, life decided to throw a big, huge lemon to me. I was expecting, I was pregnant. So instead, I discussed my maternity leave situation with him. So yeah, pregnancy, really messy, really beautiful. But for the first time in my life, I was not sprinting through stories. I got the gift of time somehow, yes. In between the feeding sessions, I got some time. So I thought, because I was not moving, so I sat down and thought really that how can I make my next job really closer to my passion. And yeah, one day I was doom scrolling through Instagram, and a message from my boss, my manager, popped up in my phone that, well done, the last initiative you took before going to leave, it's actually making money, and we are having revenues, like the number was 7 billions with a B. And I was really happy. So a little bit background. So before going to the leave, the maternity leave, I was working on an initiative. So our customers were traders, energy and gas traders. So my work was to shadow them, to understand them, and find out the ways, like why our tool is causing delay in their decision making system. So why they are not making the trade decision so fast, so that they are not making so much money. So I sat with them like for 4 to 5 weeks, and I found out a huge list that which we could implement in our system, in the tool that we are giving them to trade. And I made those lists into some stories again, and give them to my team so that they could implement while I was not there. So they implemented that, and the trading was really fast, and it was making money. And yeah, that message actually pulled the last triggers to my managers, to my yeah, to my software engineering career. And I found my niche, strategic technical planning, and I'm really good at that in my personal life, and I tried that in my professional life, and I was good. So, and in Germany, the I would not say the only, but one of many good things is you get a lot of parental leave. So I took that time and really researched, did a lot of research to the current job market, and trying to find out any roles that translates or gives, draws me towards my goal. and few doors actually open, and there were some roles which really sits in the intersection of tech and customer, and which you have to do something with planning. And there were solution engineer, yeah, TAM, technical account manager, and customer success engineer. So yes, so I went ahead and applied, and also I rebranded my software engineering experience to that job description, because otherwise I won't be selected. So yeah, one thing led to another. I got a couple of interviews, and then I would like to call it my dream job, where I am right now currently. So another tool for you. So how I rebranded myself. So the first thing what I did is I did a good inventory, like what I am good at, what are my strengths. And so there was an exhaustive list. And then I did a really good market research and chose my future identity, like what are the current roles that are really closer to my passion, to my niche. And then I translated my old skill to the new role language. And for me, what worked is this, like previously I used to tell I solved various production issues. I wrote several bad jobs with cron expressions, and I supported on-call. So I translated that to, like, the production issue became like, I reduced customer reported bug by 60% in 1 quarter, again with data. I automated weekly manual tasks and saving 4 hours of dev times, again with data. And the supported on-call became, with alerts, I reduced the noise by 35%, again with data. So I just want to emphasize, add data, it adds really immense weightage. And the last book, actually, yeah, I wanted to share that my high performance, I mean, what I follow when I move to a new role or new country, new team, new everything. First is, yeah, proactively onboarded. If you are not giving a exhausted list of onboarding tasks, create one. Schedule those one-on-one if if no one is scheduling for you. Chase those accesses and ask questions really early and really often. And learn by doing. Yes, I mean, when you are onboarded to a new company or a new role, you are handed with a list of conference pages or Word documents and everything. Reading is fine, reading document is fine, but for me, I am a really hands-on person, so if I'm not breaking anything or, doing my hands dirty, I'm not learning. And improve what you touch. So if you are seeing any missing documents or some clumsy process, improve it. Like, I mean, do something so that the newcomers will have the benefit. Communicate in outcomes, not in effort. Again, the same thing. Communicate with data. Like, I have finished the story, doesn't really add any weightage, but I have finished the story which is, improving the latency of the API like 45%. That actually keeps adding some value. Yeah, own end-to-end. I don't know how many engineering managers are here in this room, but they really tend to love this. If they find some candidate who are owning end-to-end, who are actually, is it not visible? Okay. Yeah, who are, not complaining that, no, this is not in my job role, I'm not gonna do that. They love those people. And yeah, build a microculture. So funny story around it. So I am a person who loves to build any microculture. Like, I want to thank people publicly and give appreciation, yeah, in people place. But in Germany, in my first company, birthday, so I wanted to have a birthday party for every team members, and I didn't know in Germany you have to bake your own birthday cake and bring that to office on that very date of your birthday. So yeah, that was a really weird situation for me when I tried to build that culture. So yeah, first integrate and then try to build this culture. And my favorite thing is add that extra 10%, go that extra 10 mile, because in today's world, doing what you are told to do or meeting all the expectation is not enough. if you are only meeting your expectation in your company or in your role, you will be marked as, it's a negative word, low performer. But yeah, so if you want to stay ahead of the pack, add that extra mile, go that extra mile. And yeah, and one of my personal favorite is consistency. Like, not every day we are going to wake up and feel really motivated to do it, but we can do it anyway. We have to do it anyway if we really want to chase our dream, chase our goal. So yeah, this was about my story. So I know, like, I might say that I'm in my dream career, I'm in my dream job, but after a few years, I will again be used to it and I will again, let's say, looking for my next. But this time I won't be lost because I have so many tools, I have a lot of experience which I'm gonna apply to me and find my next. So let's go back to those answers that I asked you. So how many of you are not liking your current role? Okay, people are not really being honest with us today. Anyway, if you are someone like me back then who is not liking your role and do not see yourself doing the same thing in next couple of years, then here's your homework. Go home, try to find out what are the good things about your present role. What is it in your present role that excites you? I'm sure you will find one, maximum two. Try to find out like what people say, I mean, what appreciations that you get in your current role, and try to find out like what are those things which comes really natural to you, effortlessly to you, but for other people it feels like a job. And within those answers, you might find your passion, and if you find your passion, you will find your next role. Thank you.